Hey, here's the goods for tonight's shave. A 1250 Semogue Boar brush that I've had soaking for a couple hours. 15. A vintage Gillette UK Aristocrat number 15. It's an open comb razor, considered by many to be one of the best that they made. The blade in it is going to be this Gillette Platinum. It's only got about 5 or so uses on it. I chose a young one because I think I might actually have 3 days of growth on today. We had water quality issues here. The water company finally called and said we're good. So we're going to do it. And so we're going to knock down. That's also a reason why I chose the open comb. It's a little nicer when the hairs are long. And then the soap is, I got this in a lot purchase. And it's a nice little scent. RazoRock soaps do okay. I don't own a lot of them because they're kind of lower in terms of quality than most of the other ones I have. There are just so many soaps out there, you know. But I mean, they're good. They're good soaps, and especially one scent that they have, Tuscany Oud, is just one of mine. I used that for the first time, and I thought, wow. But the rest of them, you know. But the one nice thing about them is most of the ones I've tried from them really enjoy the scent strength, and some of the other even higher quality soaps that tends to suffer sometimes. At least it's to my preferences. So this one is green tobacco, and what does it say? Yeah, made in Italy. RazoRock was such a funny name. It doesn't sound like a traditional Italian name, and this is an older unit. I'm sure it's past its expiration. European makers have to put this little guy right there, something M. And that means that if, as far as I know, that means that after 12 months of the time you buy it, then maybe even the time you open it, but depends, maybe, I'm not sure, you can look into it. But anyway, it's kind of an expiration date. Like, this product will be good for 12 months. And I think they do that opening icon to maybe say, you know, once you open it, you've got 12 months to use it. It'll be in its optimum state. And then after that, well, we don't know. Now, in many cases with the soaps, I mean, it's just fine. Maybe the scent will weaken a little bit. In one case, with Sella Balm, see, Sella doesn't have any preservatives, and so it went rancid after a year. I didn't know it would, otherwise I probably would have used it up a little quicker. Anyway, so we're going to load this guy up. And it's been a very long time, maybe even a year and a half since I've used a RazoRock soap. And we will open up the barn doors. I love these little flanges at the end. They really, in the older models, they really help to lock that blade in. It can't move, stays perfectly aligned the whole shave. All right, get my brush wet just a little bit so we can then proceed to shake the right amount of water out of it. Gonna just kind of shake until most of the water's gone. The drops really start to slow down there. All right, so let's give it 30 seconds, and 55 is there, so we'll go until 25 seconds after the minute. This is a 1250, really comfortable Boar brush. Not the best of the fibers that they have, but somehow it still manages to be really nice and comfortable. And it's even young. It's like, this is its 9th use. So it's just going to get even softer. And there we go. Pause you while I rinse the tub here. All right. Now, I'm going to just kind of do this for a little while. But before I do that much more, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of water on my face. It's kind of a pre-shave. And I feel the oils on my face. Maybe I've got biological built-in pre-shave oil applicator. So, do I detect a green tobacco scent? Is that what I'm getting? Kind of. It's definitely green something. And it's, you know, like green tobacco, like tobacco flower probably would be my guess. It's nice. I like it. Be interesting to see how it feels on my face. I believe that when I started out, and Amazon was my only insight into the soaps that I could use, and the balms and the razors. I didn't know about the used market out there. I didn't know about Reddit or any of that. And so RazoRock at the time had a nice representation on Amazon. So I thought, well, there you go. So I poured over the different titles and read those descriptions like crazy. I acquired Son of Zeus, which was a good one. The Tuscany Oud. Oh, you know what? I got a couple of the RazoRock soaps through my first lot purchase when I was kind of newish. I bought a box and it had several things in it, and a couple of RazoRock ones were in there, so they were fun to try. Put in a teaspoon of water. Already got a nice looking something. Now that we've evened that out a little bit, let's add a little bit more water. Definitely want good slick soap performance today, as I've got all this hair to take off. Wish I knew the way to describe the scent a little better for you. It almost has a little bit of a, yeah, it must just be the tobacco flower, because it's a kind of a floral nature to it, but you can tell there's maybe that tobacco undercurrent. It's not ashtray tobacco, or, you know, any kind of dried tobacco. Matter of fact, if you know, a person might not even recognize it as tobacco unless you were knowledgeable about that scent. And let's just take a look here. Getting close. Big old dollop. It's got a little bit of give to it there. Let's feel of it. Not super slick between my fingers. Interesting. I wonder if it needs a little bit more water. Or I could have already watered it up too much. That's 2 teaspoons. Let's just try it. And if I need to add water, I can. If I need to go back to the puck and gather up some more soap, I can do that too. All right. So another little coating of water on my face. Now, a friend of mine Doesn't even do any kind of water pre-shave, anything like that. He just goes right at the lather because he believes that with his hairs and the way he shaves, that when he shaves dry hairs, they're kind of standing up more. And if he were to wet his hairs and soften them up a little bit, they would kind of be limp and harder to cut. He feels like he gets a better cut when he doesn't pre-wet his face. And he's very much in the minority about a lot of the shave advice that's out there. But here's the good news. If you try it and you like the way it feels, and it's your preference, then that's really all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else, if anybody else says it's not the way to do it, as long as you're getting how you can feel it, and you like the way it feels, and it gives you a close shave to your satisfaction, and that's all that matters. Yeah, this is good. This feels good. I don't think it's too thick. Just a little bit more scrubbing just to kind of clean my face. Now remember, with a shaving brush, you're not really doing any deep exfoliating. It's not abrasive enough for that. What is doing exfoliating is that razor pass, that first one especially, because it is taking off the skin cells. Okay, leather feels good, smells good. I think I like this smell. Didn't think I would, really. All right, razor's ready to go. 3 days of growth. Can't wait. Oh, that's nice. Doesn't drag. Doesn't pull. Very nice. So the platinum, for my skin, there are a couple of razors that don't work well with the platinum. The Gillette Silver Blue works well in pretty much every razor I have. But this guy, it's like he's picky, and I think he works in most of the razors that I have. And when he does, he usually works really well, like he is right now. This is 3 days of growth, and it's comfortable. This is also kind of an attribution of function of the razor geometry, just really working well with my, wow, what a great pairing. Razor geometry working really well with my skin. This particular razor just is good. I think it's good for so many people for whatever reason. It just is. All right, and I'm not worried about trying to get all the hairs, even if I was a daily shave with just a day's worth of growth. Just reduce it. Just reduce it each time instead of trying to take it all off each pass. So, not really a very slick feeling soap lather during the rinse there, and but let's not judge it by that, since that was the first rinse. A lot of times the oils in my skin will kind of kill the feeling of luxury or creaminess. This brush just a little scrubby, very comfortable, nice soft tips. Not going to give me razor rash, brush burn, any of that. I can do it in the splay like this. I can just kind of paint with just the tips like this. Holds plenty of lather. Good little guy. A lot of times, one nice thing about the RazoRock soaps is that they are a little lower cost usually than the better soaps. So in a sense, they're kind of batting at their pay grade. But then I have seen a good many sales for RazoRock soaps on ItalianBarber.com, where they're just at ridiculous prices, like $4 or $6 a puck. And I mean, it's still a reasonably good soap. I mean, I'm not really getting any creamy feel or anything like that when I rinse. You know, so it's not, you know, anything to write home about, but the scents are nice. If you find one that you like, I think it's respectable, and so I think it's perfectly worth, if you're strapped for cash and you catch it on sale, get yourself some. It'll work. You know, it's like a cologne mixed with the, it's hard to explain, but it's like a nice cologne really, but kind of grounded, not earthy, but green. Yeah, just kind of a green aspect to it combined with a cologne aspect there. And it almost hints at being floral, so that's probably where that tobacco flower comes from. But then the other two are the main players, that the greenness and the kind of cologne seem to be the bigger players for me. So that brush just continues to be a wonderful little guy. And we're past number 2 with the razor. Oh yeah, very nice here. At the edges of where I am right now with this stroke, it's against the grain. And with lesser blades, I sometimes feel that, and it maybe gets a little bit of razor burn, but this guy cuts right through it. Maybe also because he's only got about 5 or 6 uses on him. Love this razor. Piece of art, but it just works really well. In 3 passes, it's at home knocking down 1 day of growth, or 3 without a problem. So this soap may not be giving me a luxury feel or anything like that, but it is giving me nice glide with the razor, so that's cool. All right, rinse. All right, yeah, really nice coverage here. Good closeness. Don't see any tips with any length in my trouble spot area. Everywhere else feels terrific. So we are good, very happy with the result. Let's look at how much lather we have left over. This was a 30-second load with this Boar brush. Looks like maybe we have 2 passes left over, something like that. And I believe we used up, I can't remember if we refilled or not. I think just the two teaspoons, just the 1 syringe was all we used. And what I'm going to do is, I'm curious, because I did not get a creamy feel during the shave. After each pass, I did leave an average amount of water on my face. I have taken that off now, and I'm just curious, will I get a creamy feel now if I put this on without the face water? Now the looks of this lather, do you see that? I don't know if you see, it's in some cases it almost looks like it's got pock marks, like a person who's had a really bad case of acne over the years and just really pockmarked on their face. If your lather looks like that, most soaps, when I see them like that, it means I need to add a little bit of water. But that's the visual cue that you can use. Maybe that's where you like them, or maybe you're like me and you like to push them a little further. Soaps are different. Some I actually want to see that, but very few. So that's a mark you can look for. Just an easygoing scent. It's not really in your face too much. I guess that's kind of the green or plant-like aspect to it. It's not high, musky. It's not taking that part of a cologne scent with it. Yeah, it's neat. All right, so let's now rinse this off, and I'm going to see if I get a creamy luxury feel, or maybe that's just something that the RazoRock soaps don't really offer. So, yeah, not quite so much. Kind of a creamy luxury feel, a little bit with that one, a little richer. I'm not going to pass any kind of judgment on it in terms of that at this point. Maybe just run your soap a little drier and see if that puts it where you like it. But like I said, especially if you get it at a good deal on sale, I think it's a respectable soap that can give you a good protection, good glide and slide and stuff with the razor. It can give you happy shaves, nice scents if you find a scent that you really enjoy. I've also got the lime one in the purchase I did recently, as well as the Zepapino New York is another one that I got recently. So that's on the, I might sample that one here soon. All right, I showed you how much water we had, how much lather we had left over. One nice thing, if it's important to you, because sometimes what accompanies that creamy feeling and the ultra slickness is a resistance to being washed off. Because it's busy protecting the skin, it wants to adhere to the skin and do its job. And when you're done shaving, you want it to get away. Well, this guy rinses pretty easily and quickly, so that's an advantage. With this, it's a chemical makeup. I'm not a smoker, never have been, and so I'm not liking this scent because it has some roots in a tobacco experience I've had in the past. I just kind of like the scent. Might be one of the ones I keep around from RazoRock. Who knows? I love this little puck style guy here. He's just awesome. For some reason, that just resonates with me. I like that. All right, so it looks like maybe a 20-second load, or since I ended up with a little extra, 20 or 25-second load might be what I try next time. So at this point with this brush, it's not really easy to find some tips that have split. It is gradually opening up with the splay, and sure, I can find a few splits, but not nearly as much as I would think with this being as comfortable as it is. So really looking forward to how soft this is going to become in the future. Good little brush, and it's just super cheap. So right now synthetics are about the same price as that kind of brush right there, but it wasn't always so. The synthetics of 7 years ago weren't nearly as good as the ones now. And so I think most of the time people who were looking for a budget brush, turned to Boars, kind of like that one. And for good reason, because I mean, that guy's great. Now, I like the fact that that's not springy like a synthetic, even the modern synthetics. I found very few of them that aren't too springy for me. And but just a little bit of history. Boars were popular because Badgers weren't budget friendly way back when, and the Boars were a good entry level brush, a good inexpensive brush with still providing you a good bit of relative comfort. And so they were popular back then. Nowadays, a lot of people opt for the synthetic at first. and for good reason. They're very popular, just not with me. So we used an Italian soap, so let's use a Italian named balm from Stirling, Tuscany. My skin is dry, so I might have to use a little bit more balm than I usually do. The scent on the soap did not carry over past the shave, but that's fine with me. I'm pretty sure my wife would not like that smell anyway. So no irritation, great close shave, no tugging or anything like that. I definitely picked the right tool combo for getting rid of 3 days of growth. Just a normal 3-pass shave, and it took care of everything. Got a great result, and a comfortable one as well. That's the 2 things you can ask for when shaving. I believe I've mentioned everything. So RazoRock. Maybe this will be a few days of RazoRock. I'll do a couple more of those. And there's a really good deal that went on, I don't know, a few months ago. I was able to pick up a couple, but I just haven't been able to use them yet. I'll tell you one thing I like RazoRock is their Emperor EDP cologne. It's the Executive Man, that's Stirling. It's the Aventus duplication by Creed, a very popular scent, and I like that. I like that one a lot. So nice, fruity with a little bit of twist, a little bit of cherry, I believe, is what this Tuscany has, and a little bit of dark twist to it, like a black cherry or something like that. I'm a happy camper, and I'm tired, and it's time to go to bed, and I'm really glad to have my face not be scruffy anymore. So glad the water is back in action. I haven't shaved the last couple nights because just the rinsing. I didn't really mind rustling my razor in a cup of water, to clean it. That wasn't a big deal. And just putting water on my face from a cup or bottle was fine, but I just didn't feel right. I had to boil water to make it clean, and then because you use up a lot to try to rinse. I just didn't feel like I was getting clean enough. So that's why I didn't do any more of the dirty water shaves. So, all right. Well, it's time to say goodnight. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You take care and have a good night.